Welcome to Construction Point. My name is Oshibe, and today I want to tell you what determines the possible width or the possible spacing of columns and the possible implication in the beam. So we have this column here and we have this one here. The distance between this column and this column is 10 meters. So if we have 10 meters as the distance between this column and this column, then we have also another column here. This column from here to here is 4 meters. From here to here is 4 meters. And we also have this one from here to here as 10 meters as well. So due to the design, the architectural design, these columns are spaced this way. When columns are spaced this way, it is uneconomical. But when it's necessary, it's the spacing of the column now reflects to the size of the beam provided. So because of the space of this column and the load coming up, and to avoid deflection and failure as well, majorly deflection, we now use this size of beam. So the size of beam we have here is 750 or 450 by 750 beam. The same thing here, we have this. You can see this bottom is for 450 by 750 beam. So it also entails in the reinforcement. So what we can see from here now is the top reinforcement. We have total of 5 Y25, 525 mm. Although we've not put the Hogan bars at the edges. So if you see now, you see this one that is 4 meters from here to here, because it's 4 meters, you can see the column we are using here, 450 column. It's 450 column. By the time they drop it now, from here to here, 450 beam, sorry. From here to here, we are using 450 beam and 450 beam. So the wider the distance between columns, the higher the depth of the beam. So you can see, maybe we have sample here, you see. So this from here, this column to this column is 10 meters. So you see we have 450 by 750 bars. This is the level we are suspending our beam. This is the level here. So the same thing. So that is just the principle. So if you have column spaced between 4 meters, you can use 450 beam and it will work. But once your column is spaced at maybe from 5.5 up, your beam should be minimum of 600 from 5.5 up. If the gap between each of the column is 5.5, from there you should be having minimum of 600, 6 meters, 600. If your column is spaced within 4 meters, you can use 450 mm depth beam. But if your column is spaced at from 5.5 meter up, you can from 5.5 meter up, you are expected, depending on the load that will be coming on top of it anyway, but then it is advisable that you have a beam size of up to 60 mm depth, maybe 60 mm by 225 or 230. So like this columns is spaced at 5.5 meter. It's spaced at 5.5 meter, and we've just used 230 by 600 beam. As you can see here, we use 230 by 600 beam. So it is spaced at 500. So that is some of the things that determine. So the wider the spacing of the columns, the wider or the high, more depth the beam is going to be, or the wider the beam, so that deflection can be easily resisted. Thank you.